What's going on, everybody? This is John Hester here at Hester's Motorsports in Raton, New Mexico, bringing you a good little look at the ES KRX, the electronic suspension with the Fox Live valve. There's not a whole lot of information other than what Kawasaki shows you on their stuff, which is very good. It shows you all the cool wizardry that they worked with Fox on doing this. So right now I got the key on here, so I was going to just jump in here because all the main stuff is inside here. When you first turn the key on, this has a new warning setup, much bigger dash, much nicer, and full color graphics and everything. So here we go. We've got a lot more switches down here, and then of course suspension switch right here. Right here, so if I turn this, you watch right here, it's on firm. It's all the way on the right. That's going to change to normal and then soft. So this has three basic program settings, and what this is how I pretty much describe it. Trail rock crawler. Oh, I'm getting a little bit more ballsy. Let's get the suspension a little bit firmer. We're going to be riding through the deserts. We're going to be zip-zapping all over the place, hitting little rollers and little rockers, little tiny jumps. And then this is full nitro circus right here. Yeah. We're going to launch some huge shit right there. That's firm, right? That's going to firm it up. If you're going to be racing, hitting big jumps, hammering whoops, I mean just driving this like a BJ Baldwin in his trophy truck, you'll probably have it in firm. Of course, it has it all on right here. It says soft, normal, and firm. Now, these right here are, of course, your different setups. So you have select, return, up, and down. So I'm going to show you what that does. So I'm going to hit, right now I'm going to hit select. Oops, sorry, return. I hit return right there. And you see it says meter. Let me get this. Sorry, there we go. Phone is hitting the steering wheel. Sorry about that. So you got meter, and I could go down, and this does have a hookup to where you can run a backup camera and have your backup camera on here, so it's cool. Audio, you can hook up different audio stuff with the Kawasaki setup. Suspension monitor, vehicle information, settings, etc., etc. So settings, of course, will be like trip meter, all that stuff. Suspension, we're going to go into there, so I'm going to hit select. Bam. So here is everything on that. So you got soft, normal, see it stiffen up, now firm. See how much stiffer that thing got? Yeah, so you got, that's your valving dampening setup on there. The other cool thing is to see right here in the middle, right in the middle of this vehicle, right underneath here, is a 6-axis, basically a gyroscope in a sense. So it knows, you give it the throttle and the back end wants to dive, it will stiffen up the rear. You want to hit the brakes and the front end will nosedive, it will stiffen up the front. It's all connected in with the ECU. So I'm in the vehicle here, I mash my foot down and I chuck this steering wheel to the left. The two outside passenger side shocks will instantly, in microseconds, stiffen up to keep the car more level and less swaying back and forth, allowing you to hit higher rates of speed, much better for racing and everything like that. So it knows steering input, steering angle, throttle position, RPM, speed. It knows all axis, left, right, forward, back. It knows every axis. It knows when you're falling, when you take a big G out, it knows everything. So you take a G out, it senses the G forces impacting the suspension, instantly will firm up to compensate for that fast, hard-hitting G. And each amount of the compensation will be based on what mode you are in. So if you're in rock crawler, desert, or nitro circus over here, then that will make a difference as well. And of course you can see everything, you know, two-wheel drive, and then here's your four-wheel drive. You can hear it engage. Now of course I'm not driving anywhere, so it's four-wheel drive isn't going to engage. So Kawasaki electronic control system. So just so you know what KEX means. So let's back out of here. We're going to back out of, let's see, we're going to try, hit this here, back up, return. Okay, I'll just show you real quick vehicle information. I'm going to hit select on there just so you can see all this. So this is really cool because you get to see everything immediately right in front of you, whatever you want to see, all that stuff. Return. Okay, and drop down to settings. Select. You have all your basic stuff, like I said. That service, you can keep track. Oops, sorry, I clipped the phone in my hand. Service, you can set up your different intervals. It will give you any type setup like that. And then Bluetooth, you can connect your Bluetooth connectivity to this because you can hook up your stereo system and everything to this. So you can run all of that stuff into this new system with the ES. And trust me, we and every one of you want this setup in every single KRX. So who knows? Who knows? They might change that and everything. So give them some time. Demand always meets. Units, kilometers, miles per hour, Fahrenheit or Celsius, etc., etc. That's what that means. So I'm going to hit return here, back and back out, and I'm going to go back over here to motor, or meter, sorry. It's been a long day. You got to forgive me. So that's into our normal setup here, and which will keep track of everything. Your tachometer. Now I'm going to show you what the startup screen looks like here. So that's whenever you see that first one and it just says, hey, pay attention, don't be a lunatic, don't think that you're BJ Baldwin, don't think that you're Jeremy McGrath and the King of the Hammers, all that kind of stuff. So know your skill set. You got a really nice coolant temperature right over here. Really nice fuel gauge here, all colored, very nice. And of course, you know, your power mode right over here. So there's full power, there's low power, and then your gear indicator right up here. So there's low range, reverse, and of course you could also see the lights up over here as well. This is just the EPS light because I do not have the engine started. So the EPS light, oil light will shut off once the engine starts. Park and brake light will shut off as well once you release the park and brake. Seatbelt light, of course, release that. Take care of that. And like I said, your drive mode, it will tell you in two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and diff lock with your respectable setups. But you need to be rolling to get the gears all meshed up and everything like that. So I wanted to give a nice little rundown and give a visual view of what the dash looks like on here. And so which I'm going to kind of see here. You got odometer. Oops, my bad. Return. Hit the wrong button. Oops, come on. Oh, you got to go into your settings to adjust your clock. It's not 10:50 right now. It's about 5:30 Mountain Time right now after we're closed here. But really slick setup. It is quite a bit bigger. So to give you a little bit more proportional view, let me back out here just so you can see, you know, in to the steering wheel there, how much bigger that is than the standard KRX that we have sitting right here. See, so there's a standard KRX, which is still a very nice screen. Not bad. It tells you a lot of different stuff on there. So it's nice to be able to see that. But the suspension is pretty wicked on these machines. I've been able to drive one of these out secretly. I can't tell anybody that until it came out, but now I can. So anyways, been able to drive one of these and it is pretty epic. You can notice the suspension. Body roll is, when driving this under aggressiveness, is much more in control than a standard one. You have, I ain't kidding, like you'll go into a corner and the sucker, you could just grab that steering wheel and yank it to the left, and that sucker will just barely even twitch to the right and just knife. So it does help, you know, in the steering, because it keeps your geometry better, your weight transfer is better, side to side as well as front to rear. So it does have better valving. Still, one thing I really wish that Kawasaki would do on these, and I keep asking and then they never do, there's no rebound. You can't modify the rebound. So the kick hitting a jump, it doesn't seem to want to kick up and nosedive as much as that one, especially when you're in firm, because it takes it much better with better dampening on rebound when it's in firm. So that is a big improvement, but I still like to be able to manipulate my rebound control better. So please, Kawasaki, add rebound control to the KRXs, because I believe they will just be a lot better if we can get them to launch much more level through the air. So that's my one thing that I really wish that Kawasaki would do, is add some rebound controllability to allow us to speed up or slow down the suspension for the need. They did a fantastic job. This thing is just pretty dang epic. It is really good. But I guess if you could say I have to nitpick, that's my one nitpick on this glorious suspension system. It is absolutely astonishing how good it really is. And I mean, it's just, I was going through rock crawling sections, and instead of just kind of lobbing down, I was launching it and go wham, wham, bam, and it was just big smile on my face. I was like, holy beep. Yeah, it was epic. It was epic. And the suspension is well worth it. I mean, astonishingly worth it. So you figure that's a base model, right? And the cost in between these two. If you send that suspension off to, let's say, shock therapy, and you drop about $7,000, I mean, you won't have all the electronic stuff until, well, yeah, you can. I apologize. They do have some electronic stuff, but it's even more expensive. But you do that to this machine, you can make that machine as good as this machine, but the cost difference in between them is incomparable. I mean, this is not that much more than the base model, right? I mean, it's over $4,000, but trust me, for $4,000 you're getting probably $7,000-8,000 upgrade in suspension and electronics and dash and bumper and a top. So yeah, you know, Kawasaki did a really good job at the price on this machine with the live valve. And I will say the live valve on this machine, I've never driven a machine that has a live valve that works this good. Kawasaki did an amazing job getting everything to where it knows what you're doing the instant you do it. It's just astonishing, really astonishing on this machine. And you know how it reacts to turns, how it reacts to mashing the brakes. I mean, you mash the brakes, the front end dive is heavily controlled. It stays nearly level like that. I mean, this front end might drop down an inch or two under heavy dive. Now, of course, if you're going through bumps, it will soak those up, but stay level. It is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Mashing the accelerator, the back end does not drop nearly as much. It definitely has really good control in every aspect of it. So great job, Kawasaki. You did a wonderful job on the suspension. Very impressed with it, and we look forward to getting some of these out. So this is the first one. Like I said, we are the first one in the state of New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah to get one. In this region, we were the first ones to get one. So other dealers will start getting them by the end of June, and so here you go. So you want one of the first ones in New Mexico, Colorado, or around this area, give us a call. We've got one on the floor right now, okay? And it is pretty epic, pretty epic. Want to thank you all for watching, taking the time, checking this out. If there's any questions or anything I could help answer, give us a comment down in the comment sections down below. Do the best we possibly can to answer any questions that we possibly can for you. Really appreciate it. Give us a like. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell. Keep up to date. Trying to do more and more stuff. But really appreciate you all for watching. Thank you all. Have a great evening. And God bless you.